have successfully gotten
Aéroport
off.
Charles de Gaulle 1, terminaux 1 et 3.
Alight here for terminals 1 and 3.
Acceso a las terminales 1 y 3.
That was fun. So I got off the plane and it was freezing and I had to change into my jeans and my warm clothes, but I completely forgot about that till I was outside the airport, didn't I? I finally got through the longest line in the world for passports, and I'm freaking out because I forgot that I don't need a visa, but everyone else has like visa papers, and I was sitting there going, ooh. I've successfully gotten off a plane, made it through border control, bought myself an all-day train ticket, and boarded my first train in France, which is really cool. Have a look outside. My suitcase barely survived. Have a look at this. You see it? Look at this. Nothing. Like my luggage I can put. And this is completely snapped off now. And all of this is looking at. It's like big. So yeah, I doubt it's gonna make it back to Brisbane. But we'll see how it goes. So far I haven't needed to get out any money, which is awesome. I've just been tapping or like paying by card, which is really handy. But I know eventually I'm gonna have to take out some money from an ATM. And the exchange rate today is really shit. So we'll see how that goes. But it is currently like 8 in the morning, and have a look outside. It is so dark. So far everyone's been super nice. I can't understand a word of French, but they can all speak English, which is really handy right now. Hopefully I'll pick things up. I feel like I can think about sentences in my head, but I can't actually spit them out yet, so I'm really glad that they just know English straight away. Might be a bit different when I get to the city. We'll see how we go. I'm about to go and check into my hotel, which I'm there for a day before I need Adelaide. I'm actually frozen. So I got off the train and had to go up 1,000 escalators, but I don't know if you can see, it's really foggy. Found Notre Dame straight away, which is really cool, but I had no clue where I was, so I asked a nice man in a restaurant, and now hopefully I'm a little bit closer. Alright guys, I tried to do a vlog in the train, but I'm not entirely sure how well that went because it was really noisy and I was really soft because there were people looking at me like I was a bit of a fool. Mind you, they were looking at me anyway because I had a suitcase and a bag and I was cuddled up on one of the chairs. So after I was sitting in the middle of Guangzhou airport, I decided to go down and find out which gate was mine, and I found out that I had to go like downstairs and catch a bus, but they weren't ready for me yet. But there was no up escalator, so I had to cram into a crowded elevator and it smelt so bad. And I decided to stretch a little bit, so I found a good corner and sat down and have a good little stretch so that when I got on the plane I was super relaxed, which worked. Got a few weird looks, but not as bad as when I was on the metro. But anyway, went down, waited, got on the bus, went on the plane, and all was sweet, and it seemed like we were pretty much ready to take off. And there was no one sitting next to me. And I thought this is like a dream come true. And we waited for a little bit, and it started to sound like doors were closing, and we must have been like waiting for like a final boarding call for late and later. And the two of them came on and they were walking down the other aisle, and it was like, yes, I've got a spare spot next to me. But one of them came and sat next to me, didn't they? So now I didn't have a spare spot next to me. I didn't really talk to her. She kind of disappeared into a sleeping bag, which was fine. I fell asleep, well, tried to fall asleep, pretty much straight away. But another thing things I've learned, is that if you order a special meal, then it'll come out first. And no matter what, they'll wake you up and make sure that you get that special meal first. So, excuse me. Get tapped on the head by little Chinese ladies and give you your food. I'm not even hungry, I just ate. You've given me 3 meals this flight, but it's fine. So I downed that really quickly and fell straight back asleep. Well, tried to be as asleep as I was before, which didn't really work. But slept for like 8 hours, which was really good. Watched a couple of movies when I woke up. And when we were landing, I thought we were much higher than we actually were. I was like, wow, it must be a sunrise. It's so pretty. It's so orange. When really we were landing and we were still in the cloud that I thought was above the sun or like in line with the sun. So it's ridiculously foggy. Stood in a massive line. The lady behind me from Texas or America or something like that sat there and said, "This reminds me of Disneyland." I'm like, yeah, it really does. Took like an hour to get through immigration. But yeah, I survived my first metro trip all on my own, and I bought a train ticket that cost me $35, so I'm going to be traveling everywhere today. And I got off after like 1,000 escalators and looked around, and I've never been so cold in my entire life. I didn't realise how cold it was going to be, and I knew that I wasn't wearing what I usually wear when I go to Europe, and I usually like am prepared for the cold, but it was so cold, and I was shivering within like seconds of stepping outside. I was like, okay, I just need to work out which direction to go, and looked around. I couldn't see any water because I knew I had to find a bridge. I couldn't see any water, so I was like, I'll just walk in any direction and someone will help me. But no, I asked nice man in a restaurant. I keep going to say things in French. I keep like thinking it through in my head, like, parlez-vous anglais? Pardon, parlez-vous anglais? And then speak in English. But no, I was just, oi mate, do you speak English? Just straight away. And it's embarrassing, but it's all I can manage when I'm freezing clearly. I want to speak French. I need to speak French. So I think from like this point on, I'm going to like push myself too, so that when I get to the host family, I actually have a fighting chance. But no, I braved it through crossing bridges, and I swear I couldn't feel my hands. I still have only just gotten feeling back in my hands. It's been like 20 minutes. So I feel like I'm going to need to buy some really cheap gloves. Yeah, no, I made it to my room, and this is going to be a little bit of a cribs episode. Alright, we came in the door. Bed, where I've dumped all my stuff. There's a heater hitting there. That's where my bag goes. That's my vanity and my cup. Ooh. This is my one desk, my TV, and this is snazzy. So on one side, it's a shower, and on the other side, it's a toilet. Pink toilet paper. Pink toilet paper. And I have my own little window in here. It's not a room with a really good view, but you know, it's cool. I like it. I always like rooms like this, especially when you can open it up and feel how ridiculously cold it is, and then close it and never open that ever again. Oh my goodness.